11th episode of our series on the 48 laws of power. We explore today from law number 36 to law number 40. These laws that teach us how to control emotions, manipulate perception, and master the art of influence. These laws show why you should ignore what offends you, make others play on your terms, save emotions to gain the upper hand, and why nothing truly valuable ever comes for free. Power is a game. Power is a game, and those who learn its rules rise above those who stumble through life on a way. Now let's start with law number 36. This law number 36, it refers disdaining things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Robert Greene, in his book The 48 Laws of Power, he offers a profound lesson through law number 36. Disdain things you cannot have. This law teaches us that the more attention we give to something out of our reach, the more we embody. The more we embody. The more we fight against something trivial, the more significant it becomes. It is sometimes wiser to let things go, to show indifference rather than desperation. True power lies not in chasing what is unattainable, but in acting as if it never mattered in the first place. History gives us another striking example in Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. During his rise to power, the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, he saw him as a growing threat and invited him to his court in Agra. Once there, Shivaji was deliberately insulted, placed behind lesser nobles, treated with disdain, and effectively held captive. Many in his position, they might have reacted with outrage, pleaded for mercy, or openly resisted, which would have sealed their fate. Instead, Shivaji remained composed, feigned illness, and acted as if the insult meant nothing to him. When the time was right, he executed a brilliant escape strategy, humiliating the Mughals in the process. By refusing to engage in a futile struggle within the Mughal court and instead maintaining his cool, he preserved his power. He preserved his power and ultimately strengthened his position. Had he reacted impulsively or shown desperation, he would have lost his advantage. Later, he went on to establish the Maratha kingdom, challenging Mughal supremacy and laying the foundation for a powerful empire. This law applies to all of us in everyday life. Imagine a person longing for a promotion but realizing that favoritism in the workplace will always block their path. Instead of begging or comparing, they can shift their focus. They can shift their focus to self-improvement, building new skills, or even seeking better opportunities elsewhere. The moment they show that they do not desperately need that particular promotion, they gain power. People who appear desperate or overly attached to an outcome lose their influence. Those who remain indifferent and composed, they appear superior. We often encounter small attacks from envious people, insults, criticisms, or attempts to undermine our confidence. Engaging with those people, defending ourselves or trying to prove a point only gives them more power. The stronger response is indifference. The stronger response is indifference. Stay silent. When someone insults you, respond with a smile or respond with a silence. When rival tries to drag you into an argument, act as if their words are unworthy of your attention. If we take the example of the life of Babasaheb Ambedkar, his life is a perfect example of this principle. Throughout his life journey, he faced relentless insults, relentless discriminations, and attempts to undermine his confidence. From his school days, where he was denied the right to sit with upper caste students, from there onwards to his political career, where his opponents tried to discredit him at every turn, Babasaheb Ambedkar endured constant attacks. However, instead of wasting energy in emotional confrontations, he responded with silence. He responded with his intellect. He responded with action. One powerful instance was during the drafting of the Indian Constitution. Many conservative leaders and critics opposed his goal, questioning his credentials and ridiculing his Dalit background. Instead of engaging heated arguments, Babasaheb Ambedkar, he remained composed, let his work speak for itself, and went on to shape the Constitution of India, a document that now defines the nation's democratic framework. His silence in the face of insults, it did not mean weakness. It was a demonstration of his superior confidence and focus on the larger mission. Similarly, when he led the Mahar Satyagraha, which was in 1927, asserting the rights of Dalits to access public water tanks, he faced violent resistance and humiliation from upper caste opponents. Yet, instead of reacting with anger, he strategically turned the protest into a larger movement for social justice. His ability to ignore personal attacks and focus on systematic change, it made him one of India's most powerful reformers. Babasaheb Ambedkar's life, it teaches us that responding to critics with dignity and indifference, it weakens their influence. By refusing to be dragged into petty battles, he emerged as a towering figure in history, proving that true power lies in action, not in reaction. The moment you treat their actions rightly, they lose their hold over you. This law also applies when we make mistakes. If you slip up, do not panic or over-explain. Treat the mistake as insignificant and others will follow your lead. Many powerful individuals and public figures, they have mastered this art. They do not allow minor failures to define them. Instead of defending every mistake, they move forward with confidence, acting as if nothing happened. However, wisdom is essential when applying this law. Not all problems should be ignored. Some challenges demand action before they grow too large. It is crucial to recognize which situation require immediate attention and which are the best left alone. Small nuisances, if left unchecked, they can sometimes grow into real threats. A burning ember, it can become a wildfire if not watched carefully. The key is to maintain emotional control and strategic thinking. If you cannot have something, if someone is trying to provoke you, or if you make a minor mistake, do not let it consume you. Rise above it. Rise above that mistake. The world respects those who move with quiet confidence, not those who dwell on what they lack. The less interest you show in what you cannot have, the more superior you seem. In the game of power, composure and indifference, they are often the greatest weapons. That is about law number 36. Law number 37. Create compelling spectacles. Robert Greene, in the 48 Laws of Power, he explains a profound truth. People are moved more by spectacle than by logic. The world does not run solely on facts, solely on arguments, solely on evidence. It thrives on emotion. The world thrives on emotion, perception, and the power of grand imagery. If you can captivate an audience, you can command influence. Throughout history, those who master the art of spectacle, they have held an upper hand. Consider Narendra Modi's Howdy Modi mega event held on September 22nd, 2019 in Texas, United States with Donald Trump. This was not just a political gathering. It was a grand spectacle. It was a grand spectacle designed to showcase India's global influence, Modi's leadership, and the strength of US-India relations. This event was carefully staged with powerful visuals, dramatic entrances, and a massive crowd of over 50,000 people cheering in unison. Modi and Trump, they walked hand in hand, symbolizing a strong alliance, while carefully crafted speeches and slogans, they evoked emotions of pride and unity. It was not just about words. It was about the PR. It was about the image. It was about experience. It was about the unforgettable impact it left on the global stage. The lesson is simple. People crave experiences that stir their emotions. Words alone do not always inspire. Facts do not always persuade. But a striking image, a powerful symbol, or a well-orchestrated event, they can shape perceptions in ways logic never can. This is why leaders, politicians, and visionaries across ages, they have used grand spectacles. The power of spectacle, it has always played a crucial role in shaping public perception, whether in politics, whether in cinema, or in mass movements. From ancient Rome to modern India, leaders and influencers, they have understood that commanding attention is as important as commanding power. They have used grand monuments. They have used grand monuments, dramatic appearances, and symbolic gestures to etch themselves into the collective consciousness of their people. Take for instance the Rajarao movie. It's just a mere audio function. It's just an audio function where Junior India commanded a stage that looked less like a promotional event and more like a political rally in the time. The audio launch for the movie held in 2003, it was said to have attracted over 1 million people. It was held at Nimbakuru, the birthplace of Senior N.T. Ramarao, on December 5, 2003. The sheer scale of the gathering, the electrifying crowd and his powerful presence, it made an unforgettable spectacle. It was not just a film event, it was a demonstration of charisma of Junior India, reminiscent of how leaders throughout history, they have drawn energy from massive crowds. Junior India standing before lakhs of fans. Junior India standing before lakhs of fans. He did not merely promote his film. He created an image of mass appeal, much like a political leader addressing his people. Consider Indira Gandhi in the 1983 non-aligned movement, that summit where she orchestrated a masterful display of power, diplomacy, and leadership. Hosting leaders from the non-aligned movements, she positioned India as the voice of the third world. The visual spectacle of the summit, flags of dozens of nations, grand receptions, and the aura of leaders who could stand toe-to-toe with the global superpowers, it cemented her place in international parties. She did not merely attend the summit. Indira Gandhi did not merely attend the summit. She won the summit, turning it into a symbol of India's independent and assertive foreign policy. But this is not just about power in politics or leadership. It applies to daily life as well. If you want to leave an impact, do not just rely on plain words. Do not just rely on plain words. Create an experience. If you are a teacher, do not just explain. Demonstrate with passion and imagery. If you are an entrepreneur, build a brand that people can see, people can feel, and people can remember. If you are an artist, make your work a movement, not just a creation. The world remembers those who make them feel something extraordinary. History is filled with such wonderful moments. Julius Caesar did not just rule Rome. He paraded through the streets in a laurel crown, crafting an image of divinely sanctioned power. Napoleon did not just win battles. He commissioned paintings that portrayed him as a heroic figure, draped in imperial robes. He was draped in imperial robes, crossing the Alps like a god of war. In modern times, successful politicians and celebrities, they follow the same script. They understand that people do not just remember policies or performances. They remember images. They remember slogans. They remember grand movements. Spectacle is not just about showmanship. It is about crafting a legacy. Those who master it do not merely lead. They become legends. They become legends. Although Modi was not invited to Trump's second term inauguration and Junior India's Andhra didn't perform well at the box office, but they both masterfully crafted unforgettable spectacles that will be remembered in history. The formula for creating compelling spectacles is straightforward. First, craft a powerful image. Craft a powerful image. Let your presence, your work, and your message be visually striking. Second, establish a signature style that sets you apart. Third, borrow from history, symbols, colors, and gestures that resonate with people. Finally, wear it all like a badge of honor. Live your spectacle. Live your spectacle, and the world will watch. In the end, people may not remember every word you say, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Power lies not just in knowledge, but in the ability to turn the knowledge into something unforgettable. Create a compelling spectacle, and you will not just be seen, you will be remembered. You will be remembered forever. So that is the law number 37. Now let's come to law number 38. Law number 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Think as you like, but behave like others. Robert Greene, in his book, The 48 Laws of Power, he introduces us to law number 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. This law may seem simple, but its power lies in subtlety and its deep understanding of human behavior. It teaches us the importance of balance. It teaches us the importance of balance of expressing our individuality while blending in with society. The way we present ourselves to the world, it shapes how we are perceived. And understanding this is key to achieve success, both personally and professionally. So imagine a situation where you have unique ideas, perhaps groundbreaking thoughts about the way the world works, and you feel an intense desire. You feel an intense desire to express them. You may feel strongly that you should be open and unapologetic, showing the world the depth of your thoughts. But according to Robert Greene, if you plant your unconventionality, people may not see it as a display of brilliance. They may perceive it as an arrogance or a desire for attention. They will likely feel uncomfortable, and instead of appreciating your ideas, they may find ways to punish you. They may find ways to punish you, even subtly, for making them feel inferior. This is why it is safer, at least in the early stages, to blend in with others. It doesn't mean suppressing your uniqueness, but rather choosing the right moment and the right audience to express it. Think about it. If you walk into a room and start speaking in ways that challenge everyone's core beliefs without the consideration for their comfort, you may find yourself alienated. On the other hand, blending in, it allows you to connect, communicate effectively, and build relationships before revealing your personality. Aurangzeb, if we take the example of Aurangzeb, he was an ambitious ruler known for his military prowess and strong commitment to his beliefs. He was able to expand the Mughal Empire to its greatest territorial extent, but unfortunately, his approach to power, his approach to powerful leadership, it eventually led to his downfall. As he consolidated his power and became more entrenched in his rule, he began adopting practices that were seen as alienating by those around him. One of his significant moves, it was his stricter imposition of religious laws. Stricter imposition of religious laws. This alienated many of his Hindu subjects who had long been integrated into the Mughal administration and culture. By adopting a narrow and rigid approach to leadership, just as Pausanias did with the Persians, Aurangzeb failed to blend in. Aurangzeb failed to blend in with the diverse cultural fabric of his empire. He began to offend those who had once supported him, including many within his own court, leading to internal strife and weakening his power. Ultimately, his rigid policies and refusal to adapt it led to rebellions and unrest in his empire. And after his death, the Mughal Empire entered a period of decline. Aurangzeb's story, it serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how powerful or how successful we become, we must always remain aware of the importance of blending in with our environment and respecting the values and traditions of those around us. In doing so, we ensure that our success is sustainable. Our success is sustainable, and that we do not alienate the very people who helped us rise to power. Pausanias, the Spartan nobleman from ancient Greece, he grew distant from his old allies and began showing off his superiority. Instead of blending in with his Greek heritage, he flaunted his differences. In doing so, he offended those who had once supported him, ultimately leading to his downfall. So, what does this teach us? It teaches us that our individuality should not be flaunted recklessly. If we wish to be heard, it's important to know when and how to express our ideas. When we challenge the norms, we risk alienating others who are not ready to accept those ideas. Instead, we can find more subtle ways to introduce our beliefs. Expressing our uniqueness in small doses to the right people, it allows us to make a meaningful impact without facing unnecessary opposition. Take, for instance, a person who holds progressive views in a conservative environment. If they try to impose their beliefs in a way that is confrontational, they might face resistance. But if they find a way to communicate these ideas gently, perhaps through conversation or by leading by example, they are more likely to win hearts. They are more likely to win minds. This subtlety allows them to maintain respect for others, respect for others' opinions, while still being true to their own. In conclusion to this 38th law, this law teaches us that while we may think differently, we need to be mindful of how we express those parts. Blending in doesn't mean hiding your true self. It means being strategic about when and where to reveal your individuality. By understanding the social context, showing respect for others, and using subtlety in our approach, we can navigate. We can navigate the complexities of human interactions by staying true to our values. In the end of this life, it's about thriving in the world without unnecessarily alienating those around us. Embrace your uniqueness. Embrace your uniqueness, but do so with wisdom. Law number 39, stir up waters to catch fish. Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power, it offers deep insights into human behavior, strategy, and influence. One of the most powerful lessons from this book is law number 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. This law teaches us that anger and emotion, they are strategically counterproductive. And the one who stays calm while making the enemy lose control gains the upper hand. History and real life experiences, they have proven time and again that those who react emotionally to provocation, they often lose their power, while those who remain composed, they can control the situation. They can control the situation. A great example of this principle can be found in the rise of how Chanakya defeated the Nanda dynasty and installed Chandragupta Maurya as the emperor. Chanakya was once insulted. Chanakya was humiliated by Dhanananda, the ruler of Magadha. An ordinary man would have reacted in anger. If it is the case, an ordinary man would have reacted in anger, but Chanakya stayed calm, analyzed the weaknesses of the Nanda empire, and used strategy to destroy it. He did not rush into revenge. Instead, he carefully planned and provoked the Nandas into making mistakes. He turned public opinion against them, built alliances, and ensured that when he struck, it was decisive. The result, the mighty Nanda dynasty, it fell, and Chandragupta established one of the greatest empires in Indian history. This law also applies to modern day politics, modern day leadership. The most successful politicians, they do not react emotionally to criticism. Instead, they remain composed. Allowing their rivals to make emotional mistakes. During India's independence movement, Mahatma Gandhi understood this well. He never reacted violently to British oppression. Instead, he provoked Britishers into using excessive force, which only exposed their cruelty to the world. The British, frustrated by his passive resistance, they made many errors that weakened their hold on India. Gandhi's strategy of non-violent resistance, it stirred the waters, forcing the British into a reaction that ultimately led to their downfall. On the other hand, those who cannot control their emotions, they often fail, they often fall. Leaders who let anger drive their decisions, they lose the trust and confidence of their people. When Indira Gandhi imposed the emergency in 1975, she acted out of fear and insecurity. Instead of controlling the situation calmly, She reacted harshly. She reacted harshly, suppressing opposition, silencing critics, and suspending civil rights. This provoked massive resentment, leading to her defeat in the 1977 election. Her emotional reaction, it cost her power, proving that leaders who act out of anger ultimately lose control. In personal and professional life, emotional control is a superpower. Think of a workplace situation where a boss shouts at employees in frustration. The employees do not feel motivated. They feel resentful. They wait for an opportunity to leave or to retaliate. Now imagine a leader who stays calm under pressure. Who stays calm under pressures, listens carefully, and responds wisely. Such a leader gains respect, such a leader gains trust, and such a leader gains loyalty. This law teaches us that we must never allow others to control our emotions. When we react emotionally, we give power to others. But when we stay calm and make others lose their temper, we gain control. We gain control. This is how skilled negotiations win deals, how successful leaders handle crises, and how intelligent people avoid unnecessary conflicts. The key to mastering this law is self-awareness. When someone provokes us, the natural instinct is to react. But wise person pauses, thinks, and then acts. The ability to still the waters while remaining still is an art that only the strongest can master. Those who understand this law never fall into the trap of emotional reaction. Instead, they set the trap for others and emerge victorious. In every battle, whether personal, political, or professional, the one who controls emotions controls the outcome. So, the next time someone tries to provoke you, remember, the real power lies in staying calm by letting the other person lose control. Still the waters, but never let yourself drown in them. That is the 39th law. Now let's see the last law, 40th law in this episode. Despise the free lunch. What is offered for free often carries hidden cost. Robert Greene, in his book, The 48 Laws of Power, it presents a profound lesson in law number 40. Despise the free lunch. It is a principle that has shaped the decisions of kings, leaders, and strategists throughout history. What is given for free is never truly free. It always comes with hidden strings. It always comes with hidden expectations or obligations. True power lies in knowing the value of what we take and what we give. When we accept something for free, we become indebted in ways we may not immediately recognize. A favor given without a price, it often carries the cost of control. Those who provide such favors, they expect something in return, whether it is loyalty, influence, or obedience. Accepting free things, it makes us vulnerable. It puts us in a position where we may later feel obligated, guilty, or even manipulated. On the other hand, when we pay our way, we remain independent. We remain independent. We owe nothing. We owe our home. Even in everyday life, this law remains relevant. Have you ever noticed how friends who constantly offer favors without asking for anything in return eventually come back expecting something much greater? The price they ask is never just money. It could be influence. It could be trust, or it could be an obligation that is hard to reject. People who seek shortcuts, who chase easy money, or who fall for schemes promising wealth without effort often end up paying a much higher price in the long run. This is why it is always better to pay the full price for excellence. Being generous with money is not the same as being foolish with it. Those who understand the power of generosity, they use it strategically. They give at the right time to the right people and in the right manner. They do not give out of weakness, but out of strength. Knowing that generosity can be a tool to gain trust and admiration. A person who gives wisely, he earns influence, while one who takes freely, he becomes trapped in obligation. This law also warns against greed. People who are desperate for easy money, they often become the easiest to deceive. Scammers lure victims by offering quick profits, knowing that human nature craves effortless. The truth is, nothing of real value comes without effort. Hard work, persistence, and wisdom, they bring truth. They bring true wealth, whether it is financial success, whether it is knowledge or power. The lesson is clear. Do not be seduced by what is given freely, because nothing is fully free. Pay for what has value, and you will remain in control of your life. Choose independence over obligation. Recognize that those who give too easily, they often take the most in return. Generosity, when used wisely, it builds influence. But accepting something for free without understanding its hidden cost, it can make you a pawn in someone else's game. True power belongs to those who understand this balance and navigate it wisely. Power is not given. It is taken. It is earned, and it is maintained through careful action. The laws we have discussed today, ranging from ignoring petty insults to mastering strategic generosity, they reveal that power is often subtle and psychological rather than loud and forceful. Those who react emotionally, they act without status, or they expect something for nothing, ultimately weaken themselves. The path to power belongs to those who think ahead. Stay calm in chaos. And understand that everything comes with a cost. As we continue this journey to the 48 laws of power, remember, knowledge alone is not enough. It is action, it is discipline, and it is execution that truly separate the powerful people from the powerless people. Stay sharp, stay strategic, and always be in the control. Thank you so much. Let's meet in the next.